Hello there! Before I start this video, I just want to apologize for my look. It may not look like it on the outside, but on the inside, I'm feeling pretty haggard. I've worked a lot of night shifts and switching back to days, and they're 12-hour shifts because I work at the hospital, so this is what happens. Kind of feel like a zombie, but we're getting through the day. It's working itself out. The topic of discussion is second puberty. This can happen for a lot of people transitioning, whether you're a trans man or a trans woman. There are just lots of things that you can go through that are similar to puberty and that you need to adjust to. And this is for people who have already gone through puberty and didn't do puberty blockers when they were younger. So the first thing, if you're transitioning and you choose to do HRT, hormones, whole new thing. Oh my goodness. Much like when you went through puberty the first time, is intense. Like I remember when I was younger, testosterone was something that made me super angry and like super sexual. But now estrogen is something that made me really cry-y and then angry and then sexual, but then not sexual. It was just more of this rather than like this. I don't know, that's like how I would explain it. But it's very difficult to adjust to. Like I know the first little bit, I cried at the drop of a hat. Like every emotion involved tears. It was just all the time. I would watch a movie that like wasn't even sad and I would start crying. Or sometimes the anger would set in. Like I'd be on the bus and somebody would bump into me and I would imagine pushing them across the bus, and that is so unlike me. I've talked to my sister about it because, you know, she has estrogen in her body, and she said every so often she'll get super angry and she attributes it to hormones. So who knows? Maybe women get full of rage. It happens. Also with hormones, your body starts to change. Before I got breast augmentation, I got fat in my breasts. It was in a way that it wasn't when I was male and deposited in a way that was different. I also got fat in my hips and fat in my face, which rounded my face and made me a little more curvy, and that was all different. And then you have to adjust to how that affects you in public and how that portrays you. You look a little different and you look more feminine in my case, so gotta get used to that. And I'm sure trans men feel the same, like they start to look more masculine or their body starts to change in a way, so now they have to go in public and be like, what is this? Yes, it's exciting, but it's so new and foreign. A lot of roller coaster, a lot of adjusting, just getting used to it. I found too, every so often I would go up in spironolactone, which is the testosterone blocker that I take, and that would change me every single time. Every time I would go up in dose, my emotions would be all over the place. I found too with the increase that when I slept, I would sweat more in my sleep, and my sweat smells so different. I don't know if other trans women can speak to this, but does your sweat smell different? I know there's talks about your pheromones changing with different hormones, but literally so different. My sweat used to be like kind of oniony, you know, and now, this is gonna sound kind of gross, it has a sweet smell. Weird. And yeah, every time I would go up, it would be just sweats during the night. Don't know. Another thing that's like, what is going on, much like puberty. And then there's the whole piece of getting just used to your new skin. Because even if you identify as trans and you've kind of fought against the sex you were born into, when you've lived away for so long, it's hard to change the way you think about yourself and the way you operate within this world in that gender, opposed to the new gender that you're operating in. You always want to be part of the action. Come here. It's not like somebody can give you a rule book on how to operate within a certain gender. I wish they could, because it would make it a whole lot easier. It's something you just have to adjust to over time and figure out things as you go, because it's different for everybody. For me, being a confident woman versus a confident man are two different things. Like speaking up as a woman is viewed differently than speaking up as a man. Asserting yourself is seen differently. So getting used to doing that in a different way, or pushing yourself to fight against these norms, is an adjustment. It's like puberty because you're trying to be comfortable in your skin and just functioning in society as an adult. So switching to the gender is the same thing in a way. You're adjusting to functioning as female or male. I've kind of felt like a teenager. I guess like I'm a baby trans. It will have been 3 years, so I'm only like 3 years old. So I had to do all the things that girls did at the age of 12, like within the last few years, learning how to do makeup, learning what clothes work for me, figuring out how to wear bras and what size I am, all the little details. And then on top of that, there's dating and figuring out how to be with people within your new self and how you want to present yourself to them, and you know, going on dates and being confident. Puberty was hard enough once, let alone twice. I've talked to a few of my trans guy friends, and I know they've experienced differences in the way their hormones make them feel and their emotions and just adjusting to it all. It can be a lot. If you're starting out your transition, be ready for a whirlwind. Hi, tequila. And it is easier if you have people to lean on or people who know what you're going through. Because holy crap. The seatbelts are not strong enough for this roller coaster. Constantly popping out of the chair. Going into making this video, I had like a whole different plan, but came out differently. Here it is. If you have any questions for me regarding transitioning or just want to talk, you can leave them in the comments and I will respond. Also, Christmas is in a couple days, so I hope you've got your shopping done and you're not doing any last minute Larry things. I hope you're enjoying this time and you get to spend it with family, whether that's family you've chosen or family you've been born with. 'Tis the season to eat and fluff up a little bit. It's winter, we can afford to be fluffy. I hope everything goes smoothly and I will see you guys later. Bye.